My grandfather taught me the importance of knowing where you're from and whose land you're living on. When I was 5, and I do remember this, I asked him for a story about the mountains west of Calgary. He said, "This is our home now. We may hike there, but it's Tsutsina land. Their ancestors walked here. They have the stories. Ask them. They'll know." Grandpa's stories were of Caithness, Scotland, where when I walked Scotland, I carried his stories with me. We walked through his house where he was raised. I heard their laughter. As I walked on the cliffs, I knew the danger of the fog, and I knew where he had collected gull's eggs. As I walked, I was sure that I would never find the graveyard where my ancestors were buried. There were so many graveyards around his village. One day as we were walking on the cliffs, my son said, "There it is, see the landscape. I bet we will find them." I walked cautiously, sure we wouldn't. He ran, we found them among the trees. Now I live on Clincho land, and as my grandfather told me so many years ago, knowing the place I live by hearing the stories and walking with the people whose land it is the right way. They know their ancestors and know where their ancestors are. Better hurry up. Here we're walking on the tundra. Before leaving Wati, the oldest female told, I'm just gonna go.
I'll take it away. I think because I was raised to listen to stories and walk to places and learn, I am comfortable to experience the land by walking. Here, Pierre Mantla Sr. is walking with his grandson, pointing to what they are seeing, helping him to learn what was, what is, and what's around Nitsika. Of course, after walking the land, people sit together listening to stories about the place. Through the stories of the place, the elders connect the youth with all they see when walking and knowing it is connected to their other places as they travel the trails, and how it is connected to other occurrences through life.
Marie, Monica, and Elizabeth have walked the Clincho trails. One day, Rita asked Madeline about an event. She wanted her child to know, but at 91, Madeline considered herself too young to tell the story. So she took them to see Monica, who was 100. Monica had walked the place and experienced it. Elizabeth was returning to Dejati after 40 years. She just wanted to watch and walk with the caribou, but found evidence of claims being staked. After telling her story of how she met Inuit there and learned their way, she took us out of the tent and sang an Inuit song. Clincho youth are taught to walk the land and listen to the stories and remember. They were told that once Quitia was a happy place where the hunters would hear the spirits singing and laughing. Now it's called Ray Rock Mine site. In the 50s, the elders saw and told the managers the land was dying. They were ignored. The youth will remember.
Clincho continued to survive off the land. We remember to thank what is given and with whom we have the relationship with on the land. If a person knows the land, it provides all that is needed. Stories are a way to share knowledge. Sitting together, of course, bonds people in many different ways. Each day, the elders discuss where they would take the younger people to walk so they would know their land and know they are part of the land. Of course, after walking for 10 days on the tundra, what happens usually after is a nice big feast. Caribou harvested, plants used, tools and dry meat made. A feast was prepared where food and stories are shared. Before returning home, people always celebrate their time together with a feast and a dance, of course, because we all love our dancing up here. And we understand the importance of our trails, our land. Each year, youth travel and they partake on a program called Trails of Our Ancestors. They walk, they observe, they learn, and they take in every plant, animal, even the winds as a relationship to the trails. It is much more than hiking, much more than canoeing. They're actually experiencing the land.
These elders have all walked the land. Andrew Gaughan, who's in the blue hat, heard stories about Sati, Great Bear Lake, when he was young, and he decided to walk around this great lake so he could experience the stories for himself, so he would know a little bit about the Satu.
This land keeps you strong mentally and physically, and the elders just want to stay on the land. Call it a spiritual connection. It's a relationship. There is no one thing individual, such as people or fish or birds. It is the whole working together, living together in equality.
Okay, like humans, the animals walk the land. Clean-show harvesters learn how to read the land, like the caribou trail that ends at a shallow, muddy pond, and where Joe Champlain is looking at the caribou footprints through the shallow water. And I haven't much to say about this. We were walking and watching for evidence of boreal caribou, but they found blueberries. This is where we were supposed to catch up. So you get a little rest. Chiwa, it's called.
The land has many stories. Gutsunkati is where Edzo and Akecho made peace in the early 1800s. In 1988, the elders had young people travel, canoe, and walk on the land with elders from Behchoko to Gutsunkati to find peace themselves. Now, we continue with peace on our land, with our families, and within ourselves. We still have teachings that are passed down from the grandparents to the younger generations, continuing to walk us through life and walk with us still in the spiritual world. Thank you so much.
Masicho.